Jeffery has no ambitions. He thinks setting goals is weird, and so Jeffery spends his time overindulging in instant gratification activities like drinking alcohol with his friends at the pub, calling his drug dealer to get cocaine, and eating low quality junk food to recover. He spends his week working a job that he doesn't like, only to come home and play video games. It's like half the f***ing UK. Adonis. Adonis is an ambitious man. He wanted to build an incredible muscular body, and so he put in the work and made it happen. He wanted wealth and relationships and adventure, and so he made it happen. Coupling ambition with action gives Adonis whatever he wants in life. The pain of not even enjoying the instant gratification activities but still feeling stuck. Watching movies whilst overthinking, trying to think of a business idea, trying to think of your purpose whilst you watch YouTube videos, trying to think of my purpose while smoking weed. For a long time I felt like I needed to unlock, to unleash my potential. Like, how the f*** do I just start working? I had ambition and I was really ready to take action. Like, I wanted to take action, but I just found myself stuck just doing the same bullshit instant gratification habits. That was about 2 solid years of my life experiencing those type of thoughts every single day, knowing exactly what I should do, really wanting to do it and just not doing it, just finding myself back in old ways. I'd go to sleep knowing that tomorrow I'm gonna smash that workout, I'm gonna eat clean, I'm gonna track my calories. And before I know it, I'm binge eating again. One of the most painful feelings in self-improvement is in one of the first stages, which I call the self-improvement depression stage. That's where you know about self-improvement. You've heard about meditation and working out and social skills and all this, and you really want to improve yourself and make progress. You have the ambition, but you just can't seem to take action. If you were stuck and you didn't care, like most normal people, it would at least be okay in the sense that you get some kind of enjoyment and, you know, you're just normal. But in this stage, which some guys stay stuck in this stage for a long time, but if you're stuck in this stage, it's like you can see that the grass is greener. It's like you're peering over the fence, looking at the greener grass and just being stuck right there, looking at the trajectory that you could have if you started doing the work, but then you just feel unable to do the work. 2 years I was like this, bro. 2 years. So I'm not gonna waste your time. There's 2 solutions to this, and the first is environment. Now for me, I was stuck in this stage for a long time because I was living in a very toxic environment. I was living with a girl who I didn't appreciate, who I didn't really want to be with, who I did not relate to at all. She wanted to essentially be like a normal person. I wanted to be like a fucking weird ass monk who wanted to consider dopamine detoxing and all this shit. I used to feel like there was essentially nothing that I could really say to her. Like, anytime I tried to get into deeper conversations, it was just not gonna happen. But I'm living with this girl, bro. I'm not sure if you've ever lived with a girl that you're dating, but it's very different to just having a girlfriend. When you live with them, it's like that's your fucking partner to do everything with, in a tiny, not tiny, but in an apartment where there's no really space or anything. And so I'm finding myself just indulging in a lot of what I would consider bad habits, what she would probably no disrespect to her, but what she would probably consider just normal, not even a habit. She just just watching Netflix, she's playing video games, she's eating junk food. It's not a big deal, but obviously it was to me. And I find myself literally stuck. It's a very depressing time, man. And so I have 2 full journals. I've read my journals out on my live stream before. Each journal is a notebook. It's this thick. I had 2 that I filled out debating whether or not to leave her to move back home. So I was living in my student city. I finished my studies and then I got an apartment with her. For 2 whole journals I was debating leaving her and moving back home to my family house in Warrington, 20 miles away. Every single time I debate it, I just think to myself, okay, the main reason I want to go is because I just want to work. I want to do these projects. I want to start this online business and I just can't seem to do it. I'm just doing so many bad habits. I'm smoking weed all the time. I feel stuck like this. And I'd always kind of concluded wait, you know what? I've actually got a really good girl here. She's not a bad person. She's actually very good, kind-hearted person. She treats me well. And I don't just want to throw that away because I know that it would be incredibly painful. So I know what I'll do. I'll try and make it work here. What I'll do is I'll wake up early tomorrow and I'll do lots of work and stuff. And for probably 100 different attempts to try and make things work. My relationship with her was fine. It was actually pretty good, but it was this environmental shit that was kind of influencing how I felt. Do you know what I mean? So, but in the end, honestly, I'll shortcut the explanation for you, but in the end, honestly, the only way that I was actually able to start working was when I completely changed my environment. So I went from living with her, being able to essentially do what I want, to moving back home with my family. I can't fucking smoke weed here. I'm not gonna do you know what I mean? So I moved back home. This is my bedroom, and I just made this place my office. And I just thought, okay, this is the place I'm gonna do work. And instantly, like literally straight away on the first day that I moved back home and I changed my environment, I'm doing work. I'm doing a good amount of work. Now, of course, that work was pretty like small, you know, kind of like all over the place compared to where I am now. But there was a huge improvement from that. So if you find yourself relating to what I said earlier in the video, that you feel like you've got big ambitions, big goals, but you just need to like unlock yourself, you feel stuck right now, you could try to change your environment. And there's two different ways that I would say this. One, for example, is to move where you live. So potentially you can't do work because you live with your family and they're really distracting, or potentially you can't do work because you live with distracting roommates or friends or girlfriends or something. And essentially moving where you live would be able to like potentially unlock that potential that you've got. But most people probably can't do this because, you know, moving where you live is kind of expensive, and maybe if you'd had that option, you'd probably try and do it before. The other suggestion that I can think of for someone who's experiencing this is to essentially change your work environment, because that's what we're trying to do, right? You're trying to work, you just can't find yourself like working, being productive, and that's because you're probably trying to do work in the place that you also try to like relax and play. Now, I am one of the very few exceptions of guys who can do this. Like this is my bedroom, but I can work here and also like unwind here completely fine, like absolutely fine. Most people can't actually do this, and I've spoken to a bunch of entrepreneurs, small level entrepreneurs, you know, who are slightly becoming successful when they're in their 20s. And almost all of them have said the same thing. And they all take their calls as well in what I'm about to say, which is that they went online, found like a co-working office space, like some office space, you know, near like some building next to where they live, and they take their laptops and they work from there. Like I'm actually surprised of how common that is to see with people who are actually like doing some work. They all go to like these co-working spaces. That's just one of the practical tactics I can give you here. If you're finding yourself unable to work, look onto Google Maps of just office space, co-working space, and you can probably find like some spaces which are like $100 a month, $200 to $300 per month, and book into that and essentially have your work day there. Then all you need to do is make the habit of getting your laptop, getting your stuff ready, and just going to that office. If you're in that office for 4 to 8 hours per day, you're going to get some work done. Now, when I considered this, I did actually consider this, but there was a few excuses I made. One, I was thinking, oh no, but that costs money and I don't want to spend money. And two was, oh no, like, you know, if I go there, then I'll have to use my laptop and I'll be able to do better work on my gaming PC. You weren't even doing work on your gaming PC anyway, so like, why the f are you talking about that, right? I would have done more work on my laptop if I went there than at home, right? But in terms of the money, you've got to see it as like an investment for future growth, for the growth of your business or your career. The advice I'm going to give you in this video, the next piece of advice as well, is going to cost some money, but you can save $100, $200, $300 per month if you want, but then you aren't getting the long-term growth of these tactics. You aren't actually being able to put your work into these projects. I know some guys are still going to click off and they're going to think, no, I want to have the lowest expenses possible. I don't care about, like, they care about working, but they're like, oh no, like my expenses need to be as low as possible. I'm not going to spend money on something like an office. And the other option in terms of this environmental solution is to go to like some kind of coffee shop, or just take your work somewhere else, because clearly the environment is not working for you right now. At this point, if you can relate to what I'm saying about having ambitions but no work rate, you need to change all of the different variables that you can. For me, the one that actually clicked was moving out of the place, the apartment that I was staying with my girlfriend, moving back home. That's the thing that worked for me. But for someone else, it might be different. You need to find which variable it is. I just don't want anyone who has this ambition to experience that same dull 2-year period that I did. Like when I think back to it, bro, like I can't even believe that I was actually in that, like, I can't believe I experienced that for years. When I think about how much being able to create and produce means to me right now, and I felt so stunted and like held back from that, and it's worth it. As someone who's experienced both sides to life, I'm telling you right now, like $300, $500 a month, bro, it's absolutely worth it. Go to little coffee shops, take your laptop anywhere you can. Pretty sure you can get to like the library for free or something. Just do your work somewhere else. Because at the end of the month, would you rather have significant progress to your business or to level up your career or your skills, or would you rather keep that $300 in your bank account? Now, there's some people who would say that yes, they want to keep the $300. Those people are nothing like us. If you've been following along to my videos, you know like how much your life can change when you actually put in the fucking work into a business. And $300 a month is like completely insignificant compared to the progress that you could make. And the same guys who would disagree with me, it's like such a weird mentality that they have where they'll save the money and then they'll spend that money on AirPods or new fancy clothes, and then they stay stuck. And the second solution, if you find yourself stuck in terms of like productivity and work, is mental health. Now straight away all the little Jeffrey Spurgs are going to click off because mental health doesn't really sound enjoyable. When I see the YouTube analytics, bro, I get kind of disappointed. The moment I start talking about mental health in a video, it's like, you motherfuckers just like drop off because I'm not talking about fucking pussy. You want pussy, bro, good mental health is going to get you it. You want money, good mental health is going to get, like, anything you want, right? And requires your brain. Like, everything in this world requires your brain. Like, does it not baffle you to think that you can literally level up your brain? Like, the one thing that stunts your brain's progress is your mental health, or having mental illness, having stress, depression, and anxiety. And if you can ease these three, your brain gets to work on like full capacity. Specifically, because I'm not talking about getting pussy right now, because I'm not talking about getting muscle and making money. Most young guys aren't interested. But that stuff that you want, the muscle, the money, the pussy, the stuff that you want in life comes from your brain being good. And your brain becomes good when you focus on mental health. So there's a phrase that I keep saying that I really want you to write down and to like really think to yourself. Your mental health determines your productivity. Now, I've done a bunch of videos on mental health. I've done videos on how to improve depression, anxiety. But the thing is, I'm not going to waste your time, because with something as crucial as this, although I think my videos are okay, they're pretty good, you should be going to the best resource. And so I could link you to my videos and I'd get extra views and I'd feel like a good YouTuber, but instead I'm going to link you to the place that truly transformed my mental health, which is the Science of Wellbeing course. It's a free course. It's like that when I speak to people and they're like, oh yeah, like I haven't taken it, or, you know, I started it and then I never watched the lecture. I'm just thinking, like, this course is worth thousands of dollars. Like, you get it for free. She could have charged thousands of dollars for it. I would pay thousands of dollars for this course. You literally get it for free. I'll link it in the description below. Like, you just sign up to the course, start watching the course. It's by like a full-on like university professor. They go over like hundreds of pieces of research on how you can be like mentally like happy. This is the course that started my self-improvement. I need each and every one of my boys to take this class, because I can't believe that still to this day I speak to people who have like the misconceptions about mental well-being, about happiness. That's linked below. And it was this course that I started in May 2020, just before May 2020, that actually got me like taking some action. And when you have ambition coupled by action in a year, your life completely changes. You can literally scroll through my older videos and you can see the difference. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it.